me ask you, what is TikTok to you? Like, how do you categorize social media?
TikTok to me is home, because that's where it all started, literally. Like, I joined during the Musically days, and ever since then, I've been evolving. And everything else every platform I've stepped on from that point, it's kind of like it's attached to TikTok. You know, because that's like my main hub. So, you know, I'll be like, oh, follow this or follow that, you know. But just even from not even doing that, people still just try to follow me on other platforms just to see what I'm doing. And it's like it's where it all started. And I call it home. You know, that's where it started. And, you know, I just continue to do it until I get the word to not do it anymore. But other than that, I'm gonna continue to push and you know.
So now, but last time we talked, I think you had like 2 point something million, and now 6 months later, bro, 7 million. It's like more than double of a jump. So you're actually, do you like talk to the people about, because I know how you post, and you post very consistently, right? So creating content, you doing all of that. Tell the people, like, because they probably think like, oh, this Ty G. Yeah, but that's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? Like, break down what the work is like behind the scenes.
Oh man, it depends. It's based on what I'm trying to do, how complicated I want it to be. Half the time it is complicated because I'm just that person that likes to be extra. So I'm gonna be extra. But you know, it depends on what I'm doing. You know, it could be like depending on what type of video it is, if it's a skit or if it's like different characters in one setting or, you know, in different settings or whatever the case may be, or it just depends on what type of video it is. That's how I know how much time I gotta put into it. But like for some of my series that I do, I kind of block out time because I know how much time it probably take because I've done several types of those videos. So it just depends, you know, and you know, you just go with the flow, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't put a timestamp on everything. It might take you longer, it might take you shorter. So you just go with it and just greatness takes time. So you just gotta let it go and just let it be what it is.
Yes. You better stop playing out here. Ooh, this stopping them gems. He's starting already. Takes time. First of all, you've coined so many things. Right here, Key K1 just said, I think the think yes. Praise the Lord. Okay? Yeah. You've coined a lot of different sayings that people say all the time, just pretty much all over the world now, my brother. Like,
it does.
like that is crazy. So how are you able to meditate that, or is it not premeditated? Is it all organic, or is it strategy? Talk to us about how you come up with those scenarios.
Oh, like with my slogans, all organic. Like especially I think the think not. It's crazy because I was just at the store and somebody saw me in there and just blurted it out loud, and I said it back, you know, and called a response. But it's crazy. It just comes natural. And sometimes, like, I'll say stuff and don't realize that I said it. I'm like, what did I just say? And then I'm like, okay, I like it. So I keep it. And I start incorporating it into my content. And then before you know it, I use I think the think not on a day-to-day. Like, if not every day, every other day. Probably every day. And, you know, it's all natural.
But how did you even come up with that?
Like, I think the think not came out because I did this video, I believe it was probably, 2, 3, maybe 4 years ago. I don't think it was 4, maybe 3 years ago. And for one, it really came out when I was watching TV. It came out and something happened. I don't know if it was a commercial, if it was a TV show we was watching. And whatever happened, I was like, I think the think not. And then, you know, it didn't really stick then. So then when I made this video with Charlie D'Amelio, and I did not know she was viral and popping at the time until my video blew up with her. I was like, why am I getting all this engagement like this? Like, who is she? And when I finally found out who she was, I was like, oh, that's why. Because they see a familiar face. And I didn't know that at the time. So I said the slogan in that video. So when it blew up, that's really how I think the think not really took its launch. Mainly because of her, but because I said it as well. So it was like, and then after that, it's just stuck. Definitely stuck after that.
Just stuck. Yo. Yeah. Sometimes these stories is the gems, man.